Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 9 of City Skylines. Things are going pretty well. We are having some traffic issues, that's definitely apparent. Because I've made the mistake that I always make and a lot of other people do as well, which is where you end up building so many roads with intersections that you just get a lot of traffic jams, and building more roads doesn't solve the problem. In fact, building more roads generally just makes it worse. I mean, look at this. I've got fire engines here that can't actually get to the fire because they're sitting and waiting for the lights to change. Maybe that is something that needs to be addressed, though. Maybe emergency service vehicles shouldn't have to sit and wait at red lights, and maybe they shouldn't get stuck in traffic. Either way, it's not too terrible. Things are doing well. What are you guys? Not enough customers. So we've got commercial with jobs available. We've actually got more call for industry now. We're actually getting some problems with deaths here. What I want to do, actually, this will probably help solve some of my problems. We could just relocate the cemetery. We were going to. Is it empty yet? The building is empty, and it's actually getting there. So another 40 people, and we can move it, and then that will be fine. We'll upgrade that road over there, which is probably why we're getting a few dead people here. So that is going to cause some issues. We are getting an abandoned building or two. We are getting some high crime rate over here. This is the first time I've had a problem with crime. Do we already have a police headquarters? I'm not sure if we have one or not. It'd be nice if it told you somewhere on here if you already have one. Police buildings. What have we got? We've got one over here. That is a normal police station. We've got what looks like a normal police station over there. I don't think we have a police headquarters. Let's go ahead and put our police headquarters down here. That might solve some problems for us and reduce our crime rate. I don't think I bothered with one before, simply because crime wasn't that big of an issue previously. That cemetery is now empty, so what we can do is we can relocate the building. Now, it does cost us money to do so, but it is cheaper doing that than it is to demolish it and rebuild it. Now, that did upset some people because we took it down, but at the same time we did rebuild it, so it evens itself out. So we now should be able to upgrade that section of road. It's not letting me upgrade this bit for some reason. So do we have an important building here that it won't let me knock down? That's an interesting one. What have we got here? What are you? You're a medical clinic. We could move the medical clinic. That's not a problem. So let's relocate this building onto this section of road. And then we can go ahead and pop that back in there. Brilliant. Okay, so all those troublesome sections of road have been upgraded. Hopefully that will start solving some of these issues we've got over here with deaths and things, because now the cemetery's working again. What have we got going on over here? This building is still emptying. I would like to be able to get rid of some of these landfills. We do have quite a few of them. The main reason for that being that we were struggling to get all of the garbage collected, but I think we're doing okay now. We still seem to be having some power problems over here. Are we just low on power generally? Yeah, we are. I think we might actually have to build another power plant. Didn't really want to, but if that's what we have to do, then fair enough. We'll go ahead and build another oil power plant. We can fit one in up there, and that should solve those problems. We are making quite a bit of money from our oil industry, so we really need to keep that going. Looks like we've had a fire up here. I assumed that I had some sort of fire coverage up here. You'd think I'd have put something up near the industry, wouldn't you? I don't know. Maybe it was an oversight. Let's go ahead and put fire trucks there. And they're on the right side of the road as well, because obviously we are driving on the left. So if they need to attend a fire, they should be able to go in that direction, because there is already a fire there, and hopefully they can go and deal with that. As for the rest of it, yeah, there's a few little things that need dealing with. What's this icon that we've got over here? Low land value. Yeah, that is a little bit of a shame, because this is supposed to be my my sort of posh area, and residential's one of our least requested zone types at the moment. We're actually getting quite a lot of call for industrial. But let's go ahead and upgrade some of these roads. We'll keep them as single lane roads, but we'll upgrade them to roads with trees just because they are a lot nicer. And because we're not increasing the size of the roads, Because if you increase the size of the roads, it does destroy the plots next to them. Some of these curved ones are getting destroyed. Just because they're on a curve, which is a little bit annoying. But the majority of these upgrades aren't going to affect the buildings next to them. But just upgrading the type of road is enough to make the people who live there happier. And it will increase the land value. So we're going to go ahead and increase as many of these roads as we can. Like I said, it will upset a few people because there will be a few houses that get knocked down during the road upgrade. Because obviously if you need to put a few trees at the side of the road, you've got to knock half of somebody's house down to do it. I think that's all of the roads in this area done. Except that one and that one. And do we need to upgrade? No, that's just on its way down to the landfill. We don't need to upgrade that. These ones, again, I think are all done. A little bit at the top there. All of that seems to be done. All of that seems to be done. Yeah, okay. So we've got nice roads in the area now. Still got a few empty houses. Again, we don't want those lowering the land value. So let's make sure we pop any abandoned buildings where we can. At least the industry doesn't seem to be getting a lot of abandoned buildings now. This heavy residential area really has bloomed out. Look at these sort of... because I left so many single square building plots, it's put up an entire row of these sort of cookie cutter, almost like council estate flats. They're not exactly pretty, but, you know, at least it's using the space. There are other city building games. Not enough educated workers. Maybe we do need a university or a school or something over here. There are some other city building games where if you zone an area, but the zone isn't quite big enough for it to build a building, it'll just leave it empty. At least this game seems to have a variety of different size buildings that it can use. So let's consider some education. Do we necessarily want a university? University is not even at its full capacity. High schools are over capacity. Elementary schools are over capacity. Yeah, we definitely do need to get some more education buildings going in here. Might have to... Well, we could put this over here. It is in what used to be the industrial area. Do we have any education over on this side? No, we don't. And that's a shame because we've got a residential area. So high school capacity should now be okay. Secondary school capacity is also well below what it should be. So let's go ahead and put some more secondary schools in. Always makes people happy, so it will increase the land value if we go and drop one down near the residential areas. And we can put one down there next to the high school as well. There we go. So we've actually got some capacity to educate people now. Lots of happiness sound effects going on in the background. Still making good money. Still getting people into the city. Let's go ahead and pay off that loan if we haven't done it already. So pay now. So we are completely debt free. Taxes seem good. Probably have a surplus of power since we built that extra power station. Yeah, we do. I'd forgotten just to check the budget on that. This is something that I'm terrible at, it appears, in this game. Is that I'll go surplus on something and reduce the budget. And then when I have a shortage, I never think to check the budget and just bump it back up. Garbage collection. How are we doing with that? How are we at capacity? Landfills aren't quite full. The incinerators seem to be having a hard time. Yeah, we're producing far more garbage than we can incinerate, so we are going to have to build more incinerators. The good thing is that we will be able to get rid of some of the landfills if we get more of the garbage incinerated. Let's see if we can put another one or two of these down where we have landfills. So let's put one down here. We still don't have nearly enough incinerators to deal with the sheer amount of crap that we're producing. Let's go and build another one up here. That just about gives us enough to deal with it. They do need water, oddly enough, so let's go ahead and make sure that we've got water connected up. It's all more expense, I appreciate, but we are making a bit of money. Just having a look over there just to make sure that everywhere is connected up. And we can go down here. That should actually cover both of them, in fact. Yep, that's fine. So once we get to a point where we have good garbage coverage from the incinerators, we'll start getting rid of the landfills because they take up a lot of space and, you know, they're just a cheap way of getting rid of the rubbish in the early game. Let us continue to go and empty any of the ones that start to get full. And hopefully we'll start emptying them into the incinerators themselves. If we actually have a look at the trash demographic again, and we can see that our landfill usage is 43%. Now what will hopefully happen is that landfill usage will go down. We can start to empty them out because, yeah, it's going down. So I think what's happening is when we're actually transferring this stuff out, it normally would try and transfer it to another empty landfill if there's one available. But what we're actually doing is transferring it to the incinerators. Where are all the garbage trucks? Why is no one picking up our trash? People still aren't happy about those oil pumps. Who's complaining about that? You. There's no trash at your house. People are picking up the trash. Just, yeah, I don't know what you're complaining about. Obviously, probably forgot to put out his trash, and now he's trying to blame the mayor because, you know, that's what people do. It could be over here. This could be problematic. Apparently, there's no trash collection on this side of town. Yeah. We do have roads over here, though, so let's go ahead and build a road. And we'll just build a straight little road out in this direction. And we'll go ahead and build another incinerator there. Now, it does cause a little bit of noise pollution. If we put it on this side of the road, though, shouldn't really affect anybody. It does need water. Not sure if it's going to get any from where it is. It's got power. That's good. It has got water. Fantastic. So that should have its own garbage trucks. And indeed it does. And also the incinerators have so many more trucks compared to the landfills. So that should help get rid of a lot of the rubbish that's accumulating up here. We also don't have a cemetery down on this end of town either. And cemeteries do make people happy. We could go ahead and grab ourselves another cemetery. And we can put it down on this side because it does give you a happiness boost having a cemetery nearby. Obviously, people like to go and visit their departed loved ones, and that allows them to go and do it. Industrial waste found in the soil. I guess we're having a lot of pollution problems right now. Where's our pollution map? Outside connections, that's noise pollution. Pollution. Well, yeah, obviously these things do create a bit of pollution. I mean, there's a lot of brown water running downstream. That's not a problem. That's fairly far away from the residential area. It shouldn't be too bad. That's not too much of a problem. This, however, are crossroads and intersections that are too close to each other cause congestion. Yeah, you're not joking, are you? But yeah, this place is very, very brown. Also up here, the oil works causes us a lot of pollution problems. How's this roundabout doing now? Let's have a look at the traffic overview. Yep, it's still a bit of a nightmare. There's still a bit of congestion. It's a weird thing because even though this is a 6-lane road, all the traffic is using a single lane. And it would speed things up so much for them if, you know, if they actually moved around a bit better. This sort of thing does happen at real traffic islands in the UK, where people sort of stop and block up the junctions, and then other people who have a green traffic light can't go. It does seem to be... I mean, yeah, the traffic is heavy, but it does seem to be moving. We've got a lot of people trying to get on at this junction. Maybe what I should do here is... And I think I will. If it will let me, I don't think you can actually upgrade to a one-way street. Yeah, you can't do. What I'm going to do is just quickly pause the simulation here. And I am going to make it a 2-lane one-way. I'm going to use the demolish tool and get rid of... In fact, I'm going to get rid of that road completely and leave all of these cars sort of floating in midair. Oh, look, they just teleported. Teleported to that road. That was fantastic. What we'll do then is we will turn this into a one-way street... No, we don't want to upgrade. 2-lane, one-way street, and connected up over there. Maybe that will alleviate some of the problems. Because we won't get another lot of people trying to merge on over here. So these guys should hopefully be able to get off a little bit easier. Who should I call if no one shows to pick up the dead? I thought we were dealing with those sort of problems. Let's get rid of that here. How are things going in general? Still would be nice to get rid of a lot of this pollution. Not too sure what we can do for that. Got a lot of these buildings unlocked now. We've actually got all of these. There's 6 different tiers of unique buildings. We've got them all unlocked. Now, these bring in tourists, but they do cause quite a lot of sort of noise pollution and things like that. And, of course, they're going to cause a lot of traffic as well. Need to start thinking about where we're going to be increasing our residential areas to. Because we do have quite a lot of... We do have quite a lot of people that we need to get moved in. We've got nobody really moving in at the moment, mainly because we're probably out of space. So let's just go back down to speed 1. We'll grab some more roads. We'll continue with the theme of the sort of 2-lane with trees, because we're trying to keep it high land value over here. We'll build a straight road out in this direction just because it's nice to start with a straight road anyway. And then we'll go ahead and we'll have a few curved roads, and some of these roads can curve round back on to the industry, as it were. That seems like a nice little road to have. What about here? We could have one that sort of goes over there like that. And, well, we don't want to crash through all of these buildings, but we could certainly crash through 1 or 2 of them. And then we can have another connection out in this direction. Sort of bend it round a little bit over here. Carry on going around, sort of... There is a bit of pollution here. We don't necessarily want to build residential in the polluted area, but... Can we sort of cut across here anywhere? Let's go up a little bit and just try to make something that looks a little bit different without just building grid lines everywhere. So that can be straight. We can also build another sort of a semi-curved road over in this direction. I think that will work if we just move the camera down a little bit. That's not too bad, is it? And again, I don't think we want high density residential because we don't have that much call for residential. So let's just go ahead. Some of that is obviously going to be a little bit close to where all the pollution is, which is not ideal. But it'll do. I won't colour any of that in. We won't zone that area. So let's just do these areas here real quick. And then we are unpaused, so we will get people moving in. Need to do the water, of course, so that's one thing to deal with. Let's just do these big areas because they're nice and quick. And then, yeah, already got to the point where we just need to use the brush tool. So let's just make sure we get any of this. Don't want to accidentally rezone anything that's already zoned, although I'm not sure if you can. No, I don't think you can zone something that's already zoned. You have to unzone it first, so I don't need to worry about just indiscriminately scrubbing over the landscape and rezoning something by accident. We should be fine. Fantastic. We need to sort out the bus routes. So again, that's something that I forget about. When I build a new area, you sort of think, well, you need to go in now and readdress your public transport situation. But that's plenty of space there. That does look like there are a few homes that don't have water, as suspected. So let's go ahead and build this pipe out. We also need to probably build out from about there. And if we head south, I'm going to call this south. I know there isn't really a compass as such, but that means everywhere will have water. We still don't have all that much water availability. Maybe get to a point where we're going to start using something like water conservation. We are making a fairly decent amount of money. I think our population may have dropped slightly. We will zone that area as well. Let's go ahead and continue to zone this. This is pretty one big district really, but it is all one district after all. Which is our sort of posh area. Let's just go and have a look as well and see what sort of policies we could do. We've not looked at that for a while, so we're going to Walnut Square. Of course, we can set tax zones individually as well, which is something that we haven't done. Small business enthusiasts. Now, this is mostly city planning. Low density commercial buildings double their sales. I mean, that could be quite useful. Industrial space planning, what does that give us? Doubles the amount of goods produced by industry buildings. High-tech housing turns homes into much cooler smart homes to raise the land value around them, slightly increase land value. Now, it would cost us a lot of money. If I was to set that in this district, which is a massive district, we'd probably lose a lot. We're making about 4,000 per week now. If I was to go ahead and tick this, and we'll just tick it and have a look and see how much it's going to cost us overall. Not sure if it tells us anywhere where the policy expenses are. Getting some money from tourists and citizens. Policies, there you go. The weekly policy expenses is already going up to 2,500. But it will increase the land value, which will be nice. We do appear to be having water issues now, I think, though. No, that's population increase issues. That's not too bad. Yep, look, all these houses should be starting to upgrade to sort of high-tech houses now. It is getting there. Okay, so we are still making a decent amount of money. We're getting people moving in. I don't mind that too much. We could go and... yeah, which is that crossroads that's having the problem? It's this one here. I see lorries trying to jackknife to turn around, and... yeah, this crossroads is causing a bit of a problem. Not an awful lot I can do about that unless I decide I want to make one of these roads one way. Which we could do. We could always make this a one-way road so that traffic is forced to go in that direction only. Let us also have a quick look at something else. I can't remember what it was. This particular landfill is now empty. What's our landfill usage like at the moment? 44%. Well, the incinerator should be able to cope. I'm going to go ahead and demolish that landfill. Yep. Don't think we need that one. Makes people a little bit happier, even though their property's on fire. They're still happy that the landfill's gone. So yeah, we probably should think about changing some of these roads to one-way, just to alleviate traffic. But I don't think it's too bad at the moment. Do I want to set any policies over here for the industrial area? We might do. We might want to try and increase something over here. We could give them that industrial space planning. We're still making decent money, and it doubles the amount of goods produced by the industry. Let's give that a go. We'll keep our eye on the budget panel because we want to see how much policies are costing us, because they were costing us about 2,800 and something. We do have another achievement, and we can now build a water treatment plant and a crematorium. We can build another, or we can purchase another space as well. So the next population is 22,000. And we can build the solar plants after that and get a third loan. As usual, I will stop here because it's always a good point for me to end my video when I get to the milestones. It just seems appropriate. Just wanted to have a quick look at that policy and see how much it's costing me before I decide whether or not we should leave it running. And see if I'm actually going to break even on it. Sometimes spending money will make you money, so it's not necessarily a bad thing to choose a policy that makes you a bit more money, but you do really have to keep your eye on it where you can. And obviously the more buildings that we have in that area, the more expensive it will become. Though having 200,000 credits in the bank and still making 4,000 per week, still gaining people, that's not too bad. I think what we could also afford to do over here is, let's get rid of that because we will have to sort that out at some point just to stop the pop-up. The problem is, you see, we've actually got 3 crossroads all right next to each other. That's what's causing the issue. It's big crossroad, big crossroad, big crossroad. And that's causing a lot of congestion. We might need to move this road somewhere and join it on over here. In fact, we will do that very shortly. So what I want to do is, can we change the individual tax rates here? Yes, we can. Tax raise for offices, residential, commercial, offices, residential, and commercial. Okay. So can we not set individual tax here? Just policies. Thought we could do taxation on a zone by zone basis. Let's have a quick look. Doesn't appear that we can. We can try and tax them a little bit more, though. Sort of break even. They are getting the most of our policies. Maybe we can go up to 12%. They are causing pollution, but we're giving them like free smoke detectors, and now we're increasing their goods output. So asking for a bit more tax money, I don't think seems too bad. What we're going to do over here, and this is a 4-lane road. We are going to, and we've got to be careful how we do this. Well, we're not going to be careful how we do this. It's just going to be a mess anyway. We are going to demolish sections of this 4-lane road. We're also going to delete that. It has disconnected our subway for the time being, but that's fine. And then we are going to get our 4-lane road. We might as well do it with trees, because why not? And we are going to connect it up here. Now we only have a single crossroad to worry about there. That's fine. And then we will get... Can we connect that up and not have it destroy the thing? Space is already occupied. Yeah, that's going to be problematic. So maybe that just has to be a 2-lane road then. Yeah, shame we can't upgrade that one, but it should be fine. So that should solve some of the problems there. All the traffic just sort of finds its way back onto the road, and hopefully that will reduce some of the congestion there. This roundabout is still doing pretty awful. But it's just like a real UK road. That's absolutely fine. Perfectly normal. So, yeah, the city's definitely growing. A building has burned down. And that's always a bad thing. I do realise that I should have ended this video quite a while ago. We are getting a lot of fires up here in the sort of the oil area, as it were. I think what we need to do is build a road right across the middle here, because we're not using all of this space, and go ahead and get ourselves a another fire station and just put that in there just to deal with some of this. It might sort all of that out. Probably won't, but, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm quite happy with how things are going at the moment. We're up to nearly 20,000 people. Still gaining population. Still gaining money. Plenty of empty space I can still build in, so we will have to start doing that. But that'll be something for another video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Cities Skylines as much as I am. And I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.